understand it's essentially the same unappreciative crowd full of scumbags from last night.
Hey, wrestling fans, thanks once again for joining me on this new episode of the Scumbags Wrestling Podcast, episode number 64. You're here listening, but be sure to subscribe. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Podcoin, and 10 other outlets that you're sure to be able to find, such as Spreaker and Google Podcasts. Share with your friends, as we're available everywhere. Also, be sure to join me on Facebook, on our Facebook page, Scumbags Wrestling, where we celebrate wrestlers' birthdays and talk about everything wrestling related. You can always contact me by sending me a message directly through Facebook, on Twitter at Scumbags Canada, and by emailing me, scumbagswrestling@gmail.com. The show, we're going to look back at some of the activity last weekend with Smash Wrestling, with Orange is the new Smash, nights 1 and 2. Look forward to the calendar, including Dresden this weekend and Smash Week in Toronto during SummerSlam weekend. Going to look at the G1 for New Japan. All Elite Wrestling has Fight for the Fallen, Evolve 10th Anniversary show on WWE Network, look back at Raw and SmackDown, plus preview and predict WWE Extreme Rules happening also this weekend. It's a busy week, a lot of things going on. We'll be right back after this short message. Are you looking to get into the wrestling business? Well, look no further than the Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory, located right here in London, Ontario. Tyson has over 20 years of experience in the wrestling world, and he's even been brought down to the WWE Performance Center to be a guest trainer. We've already seen the likes of Jordan James, Kyle Boone, Violet Lee, Jim Strider, Pharaoh Bowman, Chris Mitchells, and many more. Plus, the new generation that are coming from the second group, such as Josh Pine, Shiloh, Nova, Frankie War, and many more. You don't want to miss your opportunity to learn from one of the best in Ontario, if not all of Canada, or the world, in Tyson Dukes. So that's the Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory. It's open Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and located at 309 Exeter Road here in London.
Yo, this is Tarek. You listen to Scumbags of Wrestling. Punch, kick, chop, done.
Hello again, wrestling fans. Welcome back to the show. Hopefully you joined Chris Maloney from the Sharpshooter and myself on Facebook Live, or saw it at a different time on Sunday as we ran down everything that happened this past weekend in wrestling, including Orange is the New Smash night number 1 in Toronto. This was just before going to Orange is the New Smash night number 2 at the London Music Hall here in London. We ran down the results from night number 1. If you were not able to join us at that time and have not seen the video on our Facebook page, here are the results. Halal Beefcake beat The Pillars and Maritime's Most Wanted. Sebastian Suave beat Marcus Burke. Mike Rollins beat Orange Cassidy in a match that has been described as a must-see once it debuts on the Fight Network. And Kevin Bennett retained the Smash Wrestling Championship over The Muscle. As far as the Tag Team Invitational Tournament went, Sabotage had to replace the Untouchables, who were injured prior to coming this way to Toronto. So they ended up going against the Renegades and beat them to move on to the finals. Killscreen beat Super Reversos, and TDT beat Philly and Marino Experience, and it turned into a brawl. Those three teams, Sabotage, Killscreen, and TDT, advanced to the finals at the London Music Hall for night number 2 of Orange is the New Smash. That started off with the debut of Tyson Dukes' son, Ethan Dukes. Ethan has come a long way since he first stepped foot into the ring at Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory, and that hard work has definitely paid off as he ended up beating another Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory student in Singh Bassi. Then the main show started, and it was Tarek taking on Joe Coleman of Halal Beefcake. Idris Abraham was at ringside with him, but it wasn't enough to stop Tarek from picking up the victory over Joe Coleman. Up next were two more students from the Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory, Jordan James and Alec Realm, with their newly formed tag team called The Revolt, taking on Maritime's Most Wanted. Maritime's Most Wanted did a lot of showboating and dancing, and also took advantage of the upstarts in Jordan James and Alec Realm. However, it wasn't enough, and the new tag team of The Revolt did end up winning over the Maritime's Most Wanted. Unfortunately, they were attacked then by Carter Mason, who wanted to send a message to Tyson Dukes, as he felt disrespected by being left behind after the Northern, and having Tyson challenge his friend Jason Kincaid instead to go against each other at Super Showdown 7 next month. Of course, we've found out that that's now going to be a triple threat match, but Carter still feels a little left out and wanted to send a message to Tyson and told him by the end of the night he would have his attention. The next matchup was the Gauntlet Elimination match. It was a mixture of the Royal Rumble with eliminations by pinfall or submission. There was 9 people involved with the match, including Holden Albright, Kyle Boone, Jody Threat, Marcus Burke, Chris Mitchells, Jim Strider, The Pharaoh, Muscle, and the eventual winner, Violet Lee. When Chris and I did our predictions for this match, I had picked Jim Strider to get it, but he was correct in picking Violet Lee to win the match. The next matchup was the finals of the Tag Team Invitational Tournament, with Sabotage, Killscreen, and TDT all battling out for this year's winner of the Tag Team Tournament. I was definitely impressed by TDT in my first ever appearance live with them, and wow, they just are hard hitting but also very high flying at the same time, and as I said, definitely very impressed by them. They end up eliminating Sabotage first, and it was down to Killscreen and TDT. Just when it looked like TDT was going to end up winning, a bunch of Killscreen followers ended up rushing the ring and attacking TDT. Killscreen ended up getting the victory and were this year's winners. They're going to receive a tag team title shot against Halal Beefcake at Super Showdown next month. Before heading into intermission, we ended up getting to see Cody Deaner against Orange Cassidy. Before the match could start, Anthony Kingdom James and Sebastian Suave came out. They felt disrespected that they were going to have a match against each other without Sebastian Suave. Kingdom said he was going to make it a triple threat match, whether they liked it or not. Orange Cassidy really didn't care, and when Deaner was asked, well, he decided to answer with a punch to Suave's mouth after he handed Orange Cassidy his beer to hold on to. He also took out Anthony Kingdom James. After Suave was taken care of, that's when the comedy began, as Orange Cassidy would not give back Deaner his beer. Eventually, Cassidy handed the beer over to the referee, and Deaner took him down with a shoulder block, but the referee would not count, as he was holding the beer and could not get down to make the count. Deaner took the beer back, and Suave got rid of it. There was more comedy spots, including Cassidy's hands in his pocket constantly and Suave taking him out, plus the signature moves of Orange Cassidy with the kicks and chops, if that's what you want to call it. And you can see some of the highlights on our Facebook page over at Scumbags Wrestling Podcast. In the end, Suave ended up sneaking out the victory over Orange Cassidy and Cody Deaner. After the intermission, we started off with Tyson Dukes taking on the other half of Halal Beefcake in Idris Abraham. Joe Coleman was at ringside with Idris, but his interference was caught and he was removed from ringside by the referee. Idris put up a good fight, but it wasn't enough to hold off Tyson Dukes. After the match, Dukes was on the microphone and then was stopped by Carter Mason, who was backstage, and it appeared that he had taken out Ethan with a chair shot. Tyson quickly left the ring to go after Carter Mason. Next was Kevin Bennett defending the Smash Wrestling Championship against Psycho Mike Rollins. Bennett tried to not have to defend his championship. Bennett tried to get out of defending the championship, saying that he'd already defended it once and doesn't need to again until Super Showdown, and even pointed out that rule in the book. And the referee had the rule book and found it to be true. Mike Rollins, on the other hand, knew that 3 pages later, there was another rule in the book that if Kevin Bennett was acting like a bitch, he had to defend his title. And sure enough, it was deemed that Kevin Bennett was acting like a bitch and had to defend his championship against Psycho Mike. At one point, Mike's conscience got involved, but it actually wasn't Mike's conscience. It was Halal Beefcake trying to pretend to be Mike's conscience and nearly cost him the match. When Mike realized it, he tried to take out Bennett. Since their plan didn't work, Halal Beefcake came down ringside to distract Mike Rollins, and it was enough as Kevin Bennett picked up the victory to retain the Smash Wrestling Championship. The show ended with Tarek coming out to attack Kevin Bennett and Halal Beefcake as Tarek wants to get his Smash Wrestling Championship back. It was later announced that the next time Smash Wrestling comes to London in August, provided Kevin Bennett is still champion, he will have to defend it against Tarek. There's no rest for Smash Wrestling, as this Saturday, July 13th, Smash Wrestling returns to Dresden. It's there to support the Junior Kings hockey team. It's at the Ken Houston Memorial Agriculture Center in Dresden, Ontario, with doors opening at 5 o'clock, first bell at 6. Just like London was the debut of Ethan Dukes, Dresden will be the debut of